We just need to find our path to sustainability of the life we want to live. Because if we find that kind of sustainable lifestyle that we enjoy to live, that leads to consistency, and consistency and habit formation leads to our lifestyle. And before we know it, we will live the life that we envision for ourselves, and the problems are in the past. Because if we turn the wheel around, if we don't go with that sustainability aspect and we go into extreme dieting, we go into restriction, we go into the yo-yo dieting effect, it will lead to having cravings. Our body will always be hungry. I mean, we need food to survive. It's a basic instinct. That will lead us to having more setbacks, and these more setbacks lead to a vicious cycle of restricting again and having cravings again, etc., etc., etc. So that's why a mindset shift is important. How to deal with setbacks in your weight loss journey. Hello and welcome back to my podcast. This is episode 2 after a 2-month or even 3-month break. I don't even know. It's been way too long. And in today's video, I'll be talking about what you can do if you feel like you have a setback, you're trying to lose weight, you're trying really hard, but it's not working for some reason. You feel stuck, you feel disappointed, maybe even a little bit angry with yourself. And in this video, I'll share my top tips. I personally study for a master's in clinical nutrition, but as probably everyone, I have experience with dieting, with trying to lose weight, with body image struggles and all that in my past. So I will share the best knowledge that helped me overcome setbacks, overcome this kind of mindset of setbacks, and maybe this podcast episode can do the same for you. So let's get right into it. Let's talk about understanding setbacks. I personally define setbacks as you have regained some weight that you lost initially on a diet, or you are returning to your old eating patterns that you had previously before you went on your diet, and now you feel like your weight loss results are decreasing, or even you're bouncing back to your old weight, kind of in a yo-yo mode, or your motivation has simply stalled. Let's first take off the mental load. I think this is crucial to understand why you are where you are now, because if you understand yourself, you can tackle the issues so much easier. At least that's how I personally work. You are your harshest critique. You're probably diminishing the success you already have in your head. At least that's how I personally work. I'm kind of an asshole to myself, if I say so. And it takes real mindfulness and reminding myself that this is just me talking to myself and I should be kinder to myself. So take the mental load off. After this video, I want you to stop questioning, why did I do this, or why did I eat this way? Why can't I stay strong enough, and all these things. I want you to rid your mind of, if only I've done this, if only I started earlier, if only I've never gained the weight in the first place. No, we're not talking about that. Also, I should have done this, I should have done that. If I'd only done this. Oh my god, here we go, day 1 again. After having day 1 for so many times, I'm back again at day 1. How useless is this diet? Why am I torturing myself? Just please keep things into perspective. Everything you've done in the past has been valuable. And I really mean it, because you learn something. You learn something what you don't want. You learn something what you do want. And you most likely, if you acknowledge these things, will not do the same mistakes again. So you're basically one step closer to finding the ultimate solution that works for you. And I want you to have that kind of mentality, because that for sure helped me a lot. And I think it can help a lot of other people if you understand where I'm coming from. Now, we want to investigate what caused our setback. Was it an emotional trigger? I know and I say we because I include myself with that, are emotional creatures. We sometimes eat our feelings. I sometimes out exercise my feelings, and none of these behaviors are necessarily healthy. So acknowledging that it stems from an emotion, maybe it's loneliness, maybe it's unworthiness, maybe it is just trying so hard to be good at something that you just need some outlet, and that is food for you. Acknowledge where it comes from, because we're going to work on that later if you have emotional triggers. Then we can have physical triggers. Having XYZ in the house. If you have, I don't know, if you walk past your goodie shelf and there are loads of things in there that you technically don't want to eat, but you still have around or you still accidentally bought, that could be, just seeing it could be a trigger for you to eat it. Same with routines. If you used to have a binging kind of attack, or a routine that after your day from work, you sit down with a bar of chocolate, or you do certain things that involve unhealthy eating habits that you want to get rid of, acknowledging that is part of a routine, also major factor to acknowledge and to realize in your mind, because that, as I said, that is the first step to improvement. Lastly, and I want to drive this point home, if your reason why you think you have a setback is because you're too hungry, then the diet is not the right diet, because I wholeheartedly believe, and I would argue that the research established that as well. If you want to lose weight permanently, going on a very calorie restrictive diet is not gonna cut it, because hunger is a survival instinct. You can't outrun hunger. You can stay disciplined and hungry for a few nights or maybe even a few months, but it probably won't last forever. And if it would last forever, that would go into tendencies that I would argue are anorexic. So acknowledging that if you're hungry, you simply haven't eaten enough is absolutely okay. You're not having a setback because you ate because you're hungry. What type of foods you can eat and what type of foods are keeping you fuller and less hungry is something I will go into later. So definitely stay around for that. But importantly, if you're hungry, you should eat. Don't try to lose weight by staying hungry. Really, I've been there. I've done that so many times, and that's what creates the beautiful, not so beautiful yo-yo diet, which is a roller coaster that is just emotionally, physically draining. All right. And now we want to do a mindset shift when it comes to overcoming setbacks. We want to think long term. As I said earlier, calorie restrictive diets are not going to cut it long term. We want to create a lifestyle that we enjoy, a lifestyle that will keep us, that not just help us lose weight, but also keep us slim, that allows for some indulgence in unhealthier, very calorie dense foods here and there, but a lifestyle that overall keeps us healthy, keeps us at a healthy BMI, and is sustainable long term. Think about, in this case, of ideal self. How do you want to look like? How do you want to feel like? What should your life consist of? And be realistic. I personally, and I'm currently in the process of achieving that as well. I don't think I'm there yet. I don't know if I make that impression, but I personally really like the fit, like super fit kind of look. Not in the sense of muscular, not necessarily in the sense of I look super slim or whatever, but I like the feeling of being lean and then going out and run like 20K and feeling awesome doing it. That's the kind of lifestyle I aspire to do and inspire to have, and hence my work ethic in, not in the gym so much at the moment, but my exercise ethic is quite high because I really enjoy it, and I strive right now to tweak my diet in a sense that I can get to that weight that I enjoy spending time on exercising for a long time. So think about the ideal self. If that is not you, nobody has to be like that. I don't even think that is the most enjoyable lifestyle for most people. Think about how you want to feel like, how you want to look like, and then think about how that person who looks like that lives every day. What does that person do for exercise, for movement? Is it just going on long walks? Is it just enjoying nature? Is it going? Is it? Why I say it's not a it's, but are you Are you going swimming? Are you going hiking? Are you meeting your friends to, I don't know, to play tennis or badminton or something? What foods are you eating? Are you eating very colorful foods? Are you sometimes going to restaurants and have some pizza or whatever? Just think about the lifestyle that your ideal self that you aspire to be lives, and then create your life according to that, if that makes sense. A happy, confident life. We don't want to aspire to be something that doesn't make us happy, because the thing I just described that would make me very happy or makes me very happy and confident is not something that everybody would enjoy, if that makes sense. So it should really be tailored to you, and nobody else can tell you what your life and your body should look like except of you. And I know people are talking about toxic body positivity or whatever. I think it's a double-edged sword. I'm 100% behind you should feel confident in your body no matter what it looks like, but at the same time you should also be allowed, without being toxic, to work on it, because we're all masterpiece in progress and we should be allowed to work on our health. And it is important to work on our health because we have so many people. I mean, who doesn't know someone who has cancer or diabetes or is overweight to a point where it reduces life quality? So definitely love your body, definitely celebrate your body. Nobody should tell you you need to lose weight for aesthetic reason. It should be about health, and it should be about feeling good in your body, and your body feeling good in the sense of being healthy. I hope I come across right. I know this is a sensitive subject. And then this is something I like to do. I like to be very dippy. I like to write things down. I like to write in my journal the things I want to aspire to do. I want to aspire to be. I want to aspire to feel, and I try to really get as detailed as I can. This whole process, like writing it down, is for me personally, it makes me feel like I'm already there. And if you know anything about law of attraction, or if you believe in it or not, what matters is if it makes you feel good, do it. And I definitely believe, I'm sorry, now it gets really hippy dippy. I definitely believe if you can feel it, if you can visualize it, you're so much closer to achieving it, because you will get in the mindset that it is possible for you. And that's all you need to be successful, no matter what the goal is. We just need to find our path to sustainability of the life we want to live. Because if we find that kind of sustainable lifestyle that we enjoy to live, that leads to consistency, and consistency and habit formation leads to our lifestyle. And before we know it, we will live the life that we envision for ourselves, and the problems are in the past. Because if we turn the wheel around, if we don't go with that sustainability aspect and we go into extreme dieting, we go into restriction, we go into the yo-yo dieting effect, it will lead to having cravings. Our body will always be hungry. I mean, we need food to survive. It's a basic instinct. That will lead us to having more setbacks, and these more setbacks lead to a vicious cycle of restricting again and having cravings again, etc., etc., etc. The strategy should be food abundance. Remember, it's not about eating less, but about eating right the majority of the time. Nobody is perfect. Nobody has to live on only whole foods and only healthy foods 100% of the time. It just simply, we don't live in a world where that is feasible or enjoyable, I would argue. So, being healthy the majority of the time does everything you need to have a healthy body, to be at a healthy BMI, and to enjoy life. That is my opinion. That's why restriction doesn't work, because your body needs the energy to live life, to enjoy life. It needs the calories, it needs the vitamins, it needs the nutrients. So restriction is never the answer. Now, let me talk about what I consider the easiest weight loss approach. And that is, and you probably roll your eyes on this one, it is a whole food plant-based diet. No, you don't have to consider yourself vegan. It is not a cult. It is nothing that you have to 100% agree with, even though I would argue why not, because it's about, causing less harm. Wait, I have to drink. Mm. Mm. Oh, that's some good orange juice. Where was I? Oh yeah, a whole food plant-based approach. You don't have to call yourself a vegan. You don't have to call yourself anything. You can just try to eat whole food plant-based foods to achieve your healthy weight and to maintain good health. Let me give you some reasons for it. Well, the first reason is calorie density. Whole foods such as fruits, vegetables, whole grains, legumes like beans and lentils, as well as some nuts and seeds, they're very calorie loose. That is, I don't know if that's the right word. It's basically the opposite of very calorie dense, meaning you can eat less calories and yet feel fuller. For example, if you would eat 100 grams of potatoes, like boiled potatoes with a little bit of salt on it, because yeah, flavor, they're around 70 calories. If you would eat just like if you would put just a teaspoon of oil on that and fry your potatoes, you already would be at 170 calories altogether, as 1 teaspoon of oil is approximately 100 calories. So if you fill up your stomach with low fat, non oil drenched, not fried foods, you will eat in total less calories while getting all the nutrition, all the nutrients, and all the calories you need to be full, to lose weight, and to not go to bed hungry. And that is why the whole food plant based diet is the easiest weight loss approach, because you simply can, sorry for my wording, stuff your face with foods that you enjoy, such as sweet fruit, such as starchy vegetables, potatoes, butternut squashes, rice, even pasta, that just fill you up and keep you satisfied. And I said that in my recent video. Although I promote a whole food plant-based diet, and I think it is what the science also demonstrates the easiest way to lose weight long term while increasing your health markers like lowering your cholesterol, lowering your blood pressure, and helping you recover faster, combat inflammation, and all these beautiful factors that foods that are high in antioxidants and high in other anti-inflammatory properties, as well as fiber, can do for you. There's also an argument to make, in my opinion, to also increase some refined carbohydrates, in the sense of, if you don't enjoy whole wheat pasta, I don't personally have any issues with gluten or anything, but when it comes to whole wheat pasta, I don't feel quite right in my stomach. It's not painful or anything, or it doesn't mess with my digestion, but I don't feel as good after eating as if I would eat like normal pasta that is refined, with obviously then some sauce that also have vegetables and fiber in it on this side. I don't think there's a necessity to go 100% whole foods if you don't enjoy these foods. I think there's a case to make, like I said, for normal pasta, for white rice, and even for adding some sugar in some cases when it comes to having a more delicious smoothie, when the fruits that you put in the smoothie, for example, aren't sweet enough because they're just not as ripe as they could have been if you would have been in a tropical country where it was tree ripened and all that. So knowing that carbohydrates in itself can't make you fat, because they're stored as glycogen, and they're used for energy first before your body even thinks about storing it as fat. And even when it stores that fat, it is simply a very inefficient process. So when it comes to weight loss, there's really room, in my opinion, to have these foods that people call unhealthy because it's white rice and it doesn't have a lot of fiber on it. Um, I really think these foods can be part of a very healthy, otherwise whole food plant-based diet that is low in fat, aka you don't use any oils and you don't use huge amounts of nut butters and that sort, because of the calorie density of these foods also. And one point I want to make that maybe helps me convince you about this truth, is just some observational stuff. Like white rice, for example, is a staple in a lot of Asian countries, and Asians are way leaner and way healthier than other westernized countries such as Europe or America. They eat basically 3 times a day rice, white rice, and they can stay lean, traditionally. And when you don't quite believe me, I just want to start some thought process. There was even one study, it was a few decades back, and he cured obesity as well as high blood pressure and even diabetes with a diet that was consistent of white rice, fruit, and sugar, which is crazy because that basically is all just sugar. It's all just carbohydrates, very low in fat, almost no fat, and it reversed so many diseases. It just shows that our body really has a hard time converting carbohydrates into fat. And if you then restrict your fat intake, your body has the time to use the fat it already has on its body, if that makes sense, because you don't add to the fat stores. There's also this beautiful sentence saying, fat burns in the flames of carbohydrates. So you basically even need carbohydrates in order to burn fat efficiently. I've been rambling a lot about this whole food plant-based diet, but like I said, to wrap it up, you don't have to consider yourself a vegan if you don't want to. You don't have to tell anyone that you only eat plants now and that you try to minimize or completely cut out your meat and dairy and egg intake. Yeah, I think there's a lot of science to a calorie loose approach to weight loss in terms of eating more whole foods and cutting out fiberless, high protein, high fat foods such as meat, eggs, and dairy is truly the way to go to achieve fast in relative terms, and especially a healthy weight loss that not just helps you lose weight but also helps your overall health to increase. And before I get any comments on this saying that they went keto or they went carnivore or something and they lost a lot of weight, I recently made a video about the keto diet of why rapid weight loss in the beginning is the case. But let me tell you, any diet where you lose weight, if you've been overweight, will increase your insulin sensitivity. Will it make it better basically? Or even your cholesterol and other markers as well. Like if you lose weight, that in itself has many benefits on your health. However, if you still continue to eat saturated fat, loads of heme, iron, and cholesterol, the health outcomes are different than if you would lose weight on a low saturated fat or low or no cholesterol diet. I hope that makes sense. I know I say that a lot. This is a weird habit of me saying that. Let me tell you, when you're thinking, oh God, this just sounds like another diet, I dare you to go on the internet, find your favorite dish, type in healthier version, or type in, actually, there comes bullshit up. If you type healthier version of pasta, you get some weird zucchini noodles, which I've done in the past as well, but I don't care what anybody is saying. They're not as good as real pasta. Are you kidding me? I try to tell myself they're as good as real pasta, but come on, give me a break. Anyway, I'm drifting. What I want to say, there are so many options to do healthy alternatives. Like, I have mac and cheese all the time. It's not real mac and cheese, obviously. I use certain spices, I use certain products to mimic the cheese. And it is low fat. Like, for mac and cheese, I actually have it up on YouTube. It's using starches like carrots and uh, one carrot and potatoes, cook them, put in some garlic, put in some onion, add some nutritional yeast, which gives it a cheesy, nutty flavor, add some vinegar, add some smoked paprika, blend it all up. If it's cooked, it'll get a really creamy kind of texture. Pour that on your pasta. It's low fat, it's healthy. You can even put in some lentils if you like to add up the protein intake if you're worried about protein. And you'll have a delicious mac and cheese mimicking meal. And I also think, is it actually a real diet in the sense of I'm going on a diet and it's going to be miserable kind of mentality? If you're allowed to eat pasta, rice, and potatoes as well as fruit, I personally don't think so, but could just be me. As for sweet cravings, I I personally like to have some dates ready, the good ones, like the medjool dates. Put in some like nuts, like put in one walnut or one like whatever nut you like. Could also do almonds, but almonds are not as environmental friendly, but that's a different topic. So I would put in a jewel date, I would put in a walnut. I would dip it in like dark chocolate. Not much because it's not as fat free, especially if you want to lose weight. If you want to lose weight, I don't think there's any harm in having dark chocolate here and there. It could actually be beneficial because of antioxidants. But I'm drifting. Dip it in, and it's a delicious sweet snack. If you're more of the salty kind of snacker, chop your own potatoes, add a little bit of garlic, add a little bit of salt, and really like make them really thin slices. Put them in the oven so they dry a little bit out, or if you have an air fryer, even better. And you have salty snacks. I know I personally also like to have some carrots and hummus dip from time to time, but I know it's not as like tempting as chocolate medjool dates and nuts or like actual potato chips. But like I said, there are plenty of ways to find foods you can enjoy that are similar to the ones you have before without going absolutely crazy and having zucchini noodles or trying to talk you into that having sushi with cauliflower rice is better than with real rice. Like, give me a fucking break. Unless you really think that is true, because I've not met a single person who can honestly say it is as good. It is an option, but it's not satisfying. It will. These are the kind of foods, honestly. These kind of weight loss tricks and hacks are the kind of foods that have you laying awake in bed thinking about real food. And that comes out of my mouth, and I used to promote that, not when I was on YouTube. Before that, when I was in my low carb area, I was like, "Well, this is amazing." I would try to tell myself that, but looking back, if I'm really honest to myself, it looks amazing, it sounds cool. People are like, "Oh, you're so disciplined," but come on, nothing is better than the real fucking thing. And when I say the real fucking thing, I mean rice, rice and pasta and potatoes. Anyway. Yeah, and very important, don't let the focus of weight loss ruin your enjoyment of life. If you have a scale, don't step on every single day. Just choosh, just don't. You're on a new journey now. You're on the journey of a long life that is healthy, that is at a healthy weight, and it will come over time. Because most likely, if you're at a position right now where you want to lose weight and you try that for so many times and you have another setback, you've probably been around this merry-go-round for a few times now, and it's probably taken you a few years at least, because I don't know about you, but every person I talk to is like, oh, I've been doing this for years. I've been struggling this for my whole life. All these things. So you need to allow your body to give it time to recover from the damage you have been doing to it in the past and adjust to this lifestyle. It might not be a crazy weight drop in the first few weeks. It might be. It may not be, depending where your starting point is. But believe me, over time, science shows that time and time again, your body will adjust. Your body will want to go down to a healthy BMI. We're not meant to be super overweight, no matter what everybody's telling you, and we're all different in genetics, blah, 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 blah. Everybody can lose weight. I've personally, and I'm happy to be corrected. Let me know if you know anyone where they literally can't lose weight no matter what they do. But in 99% of the cases, your body will adjust to it, your body will lose the weight, and most importantly, your body will stay at that weight. And let me tell you, in the end, weight loss is what shrinks down your body weight. But if you want a certain shape, a certain ability, or whatever, it takes exercise. But that is for another video or another podcast episode. But for now, that is it. I hope you enjoyed this podcast episode. This is my second one where I just chill on my sofa with my microphone. The setup looks probably ridiculous, as is, but I'm here for it. I really enjoy it. I hope you get something out of these videos where I ramble most of the time. They're more personal in a sense. And yeah, if you want to be on this podcast, if you want to ask me some questions, I'm thinking about when I reach the 1,000 subscriber mark, which is hopefully very soon. I don't know. To on YouTube to do a live Q&A if you have any questions. Um, to me about anything that I actually know something about. I will tell you. If I don't know, I will just ramble, depending if they're personal or not. I'm rambling already, so it's time for me to sign off. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate you. Make sure to like and subscribe. It would mean the world to me. It truly does. I appreciate you all so, so much. And I see you in my next one, or I hear you in my next one if you like. Take care. You got this. And leave your questions down below if you like. I see you next time. Bye.